Good afternoon, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, my thoughts are all about perception combined with truth. And I want to make sure that you know that truth, which I have made a different video about, absolute and relative truth, is shaped by our perception. And so today I wanted to talk a little bit about that with a few great quotations that I came across. The first one is by Virginia Satir, and this quotation says, "We must not allow other people's limited perceptions to define us. We must not allow other people's limited perceptions to define us." So this is where this whole idea of know thyself comes up very strong, right? Because if you don't know yourself, you won't understand if someone is looking at you in a way that does not define you. And they even comment on, this is what I think of you. This is how you speak. This is how you act. This is what you do. This was your intention, whatever it is. If we don't know ourselves, we can't stay strong in that awareness, because we would also need to know that the perception that they are looking at us with is going to reflect their own perspective. So in that, I came across a couple of quotes that I really like. One does not have an author, and it's been a favorite for many years. So this one says, "Your perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is an awareness of me." So your perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is an awareness of me. So let's say, for example, I think people are honest. Most people are honest. And certainly, if spoken in a particular way, if acting in a particular way, I believe in honesty. So my perception of you will be a reflection of what I believe, right? So I will believe that you're speaking truthfully to me and honestly with me, until there might be some cause for changing that possible perception. My reaction to you, so let's say suddenly I find out that there is a reason to change my perception because I've learned something. My reaction to you is an awareness of me. So my reaction of you and something that you're saying, I can understand still if someone is being not honest, that there are reasons for this. I will not judge a person who is not honest. I am definitely a person who prefers understanding over judgment. So that's one thing. Now, let's say you believe that everyone is out for themselves and is lying to you. And when I speak with you, you think, I wonder what Hanifa wants, because she's got to be after something. That's how people are. Everyone's out for something. And it doesn't matter how honest she sounds, there's got to be something in it, that there's got to be a catch that I'm not seeing. So there's not complete truth here. Now that is a reflection of you. And your reaction to my saying, no, honestly, this is true, will be awareness of you, right? So if you are suddenly understanding that, wow, I guess there could be some honest people out there, it's an awareness of you that maybe I don't trust enough to believe in honesty. So there's this interplay. And again, no matter who we meet in life, there's something to learn both about ourselves and about our experiences with each other. So I came across this other quotation, which is by Marcus Aurelius. And this says, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." Okay, so again, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. And I think the easiest way to focus on this is to understand what kind of things come through print media or online, or let's say we even think about TV or the radio, that everything we hear is an opinion, right? So this is the best whatever, right? It's an opinion. As someone says, I really don't like this boss because they're like this. It's an opinion, right? I can say that this is a great relationship. It's an opinion, right? Another person would say, I don't think that's so great, right? So that sort of idea. It's not a fact. Not anyone's opinion is a fact, right? It's an opinion. And then what we see is a perspective, which is not the truth. Now, you know that in terms of media of all sorts, there is a perspective that's given, right? This is my perspective. So even in my videos, I'm sharing my perspective. And it doesn't mean that it's your truth. It is not the truth. It's not the absolute truth. It's my truth. It's my relative truth. But it's my opinion, right? So just to make sure that we're all thinking about how perspective actually makes an impact in terms of what we believe is truth, or what we believe is opinion, or what we believe is a fact, right? So all of these things all stem from what are we thinking? What is the filter that our mind looks through to make its perceptions, right? And then there is an absolute truth and there is a relative truth. And I'll get you to go back. I'll put a link to my previous video about absolute and relative truth under this one. And then I thought today I would ask you to think about, how do you perceive others and how is that reflecting you? And how do you react to others? Because that's your awareness of you, right? So again, this whole idea of just think for 5 minutes. How do you perceive others? How do you react to others, right? So what do you think people are like, and what do you react in terms of interactions? How do you react? So these would be two things I'd love for you to think about. And I mean, you can think about it in a relationship. You can think about it in terms of a workplace. You could think about it just in terms of memories or anticipations of meeting new people. And what is your perception? What is your concern? What is your fear? All of those things. This is all part of brain retraining, right? So this is all starting to understand yourself, right? So the last quotation I want to end this video with is a beautiful one by Hans Margolius. Hans Margolius. And this quotation says, "Only in quiet waters do things mirror themselves undistorted. Only in a quiet mind is adequate perception of the world." Okay, so again, this says, only in quiet waters do things mirror themselves undistorted. Only in a quiet mind is adequate perception of the world. So imagine, you know that if there's ripples on a water, if there's waves on a water, the things that you see, the reflections of what you're seeing on the water is all distorted, right? It doesn't really have a still shape. You can't really tell, is that a bended spot? Is that right? It looks different in the water when there's ripples there. And if our mind is like that water, it's only when it's still that we can see a proper reflection of exactly what's coming in. It's only when it's in that space that it's calm, clear, collected, easy, and it is receiving exactly what is being reflected from what we look out at. So I would love for you to think about that, and I hope you have a fantastic time recognizing how you see things. Maybe things are a little bit distorted in perception, maybe things are super clear. You'll know. This is why I think that mindfulness and meditation is so incredibly useful and important, and you know how to reach me if you need any help. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.